Alright. First thing first. New ability, Spark Offer. 5-star machine is 2 times single target. Very, very light damage. Medium chance to minor imperil lightning. It's not a particularly good chance. And this is what I dislike about these. It's a low chance, and you're sacrificing a lot of damage. Because instead of Spark Offer, a 5-star machinist could be using Tempest Snipe instead. And by medium chance to minor imperil, it means a 35% chance. And that is a 1.28 multiplier. 1.28. Terrible. Terrible damage. Just for a chance to 10% in peril. .42. Hold on, I'll make this bigger. .42 multiplier on Tempest Snipe over 6 hits. Give me that. This stuff's gonna take a trip out to Shattertown. Because it gets buffed. But not enough. Can you please just give me... I don't want this shit. Just give me edit mode. Edit mode. God, never mind. Yes, Max Hone. Start stocking up your ice orbs now. Because these are the best abilities in the game. Alright. New character, Prompto. Combat 4, cool. Support 5, cool. Celerity 5, 4. Useless. Machinist 5, good now, and Sharpshooter 5. So he's got a lot of coverage, as well as being Combat 4 and Support 5. And he has a pretty good attack. So he's actually one of those decent supports that can actually deal real damage. Small chance to double cast machinist abilities. Sure. Not that useful. See, these 13% chance to double cast RMs are only ever good if you're running into cap issues. And machinist abilities happen to have 6 hits, so good luck capping on that. Prompto Record Dive. Gun plus 3%, machinist 3%, machinist 3%. Well, that's an awful record dive. Notable RD bonus. Oh, did I miss a machinist in there? No, he probably just has all 3 of these listed at 3%, where one's supposed to be 6. Because I think this is more correct. 9% machinist and 3% gun. Aranea. Combat 5, Celerity 4, useless again. Dragoon 5, fine. And Darkness 5. I forgot about that. Stats seem fine. Large physical damage up when using helmets. What? Holy crap! Physical attacks deal 30% more damage when equipping a helm. People can have non-weapon-based attack RMs now. That's actually a good RM. Now it is on helmets, and helmets are a little rare. Now luckily, on this banner, Arenea's BSB is on a plus lightning helmet. Yeah, I missed that. I didn't know that that existed. That's pretty cool. Arenea's record dives. Spear damage 3%, Dragoon 6, and Dragoon 3, so the exact same thing as Prompto's. Prompto Legend Dives. Medium and minor paralyzed resist, that's pretty cool. And lightning damage 9%. That's a really good dive. Arenea Dragoon 9% and blind on each. This is not a good dive. Legend Materia, we take a look at it on here. Prompto gets increases lightning damage dealt by 10%, sure. 30% chance of minor imperil lightning to the target after using a machinist ability on an enemy. That's good. And he gets the nice pairing LMR with it on the banner, which is 25% chance to dual cast machinist. That's good. Aranea. Attack plus 2% for each hit dealt with Dragoon abilities up to 50%. And increases lightning damage by 10%. Those are bad. So you can pretty much rest assured that even if they do develop Aranea in the future, she's not really a Legend Diveable character. Lightning Dive is a good ability. Her Legend Dive is not. Now let's go move over to the banners. Banner. It's only one banner. Alright. So we have 2 6 stars. That stinks. We're moving towards the end of this banner format. I think like 3 or 4 events from now we switch over to 3 6 stars. But the banner could still be good enough as long as the stuff below it is worth a damn. Right off the bat, we have Prompto's USB. 10 single target random lightning non-elemental. Imperil lightning, that's nice. Self quick cast and gain quick cast 1 after using machinist abilities for a short time. It's a, you know, it's just one of those rapid fire USB types. Right. I said Final Fantasy 7, right? If not, sorry. Final Fantasy 7 event is going to be coming. This is a good USB. Unfortunately, it is not a elemental gun. but it's still really good because, I mean, Imperil Lightning is a good thing to start, and then Self Quick Cast is good because you're trying to get off those procs with Prompto's Legend Dive, and he probably would be Legend Diveable. Then the Double Cast Machinist. Doesn't really matter that much, I don't think. In conjunction with this, sorry, just distracted for a second. Anyway, it's a good USB. It's just standard. We've seen plenty of these by now. But, it's good. It's Imperil. Just keep sacking the Imperils, do the things. We know Prompto is a good character when it comes to dealing elemental damage, but yeah, he's just lightning. Aranea OSB. This is a weird one. For a new character to just start the game with an OSB, these are usually just given to established characters. But it's a good one at least. It's Lightning Dark and increased multiplier when weakness imperiled. So honestly, it being dual elemental instead of single element and non-element is good. So you could potentially use Aranea on a dark team. I wouldn't because I have such a fleshed out magical dark team, but still. If you're in the market for lightning and you like what else Aranea brings to the table, which we'll find out later on the banner. Prompto's Fatigues. Uno. Small lightning resistance, so don't care. BSB 0 cast time, that's good. 8 single target random lightning non-elemental. And enemy attack and defense minus 50% plus burst mode. So this is where he, on his USB, he runs as a machinist damage dealer. On his BSB, he is coming on with his status as a support. And let's take a look at those burst commands. 4 single target, 2 single target. And wow, okay, self-quick cast machinist 2 and enemy armor breakdown on the second. So now this is just a hybrid. So now he is just machinist support with this, which is fine. Unfortunate that's just quick cast when we got instant cast 2 on Laguna's BSB. But it's still fine, and that just kind of goes to show how good Laguna's BSB is. Are they both machinist commands? That's a good question. I would say no. I would say the first is machinist, and the second is support. They are both machinist. Confirmed. So my guess was bad. So obviously that's very good for him. Synergizes with both his LM2 and LMR, since they can dual cast. Oh, what's the multiplier on that quick cast command? 2.2? That's not bad at all. As well as giving quick machinist abilities. Alright, so his BSB is actually really good. It's compared to Laguna's. Yeah, so this is the difference. Laguna does get instant machinist abilities too, on his command 2, but that's only a 1.85 multiplier. Kind of a big deal, especially because 1.85... Oh, there we go. There's the difference. This is the big difference. His command 2 is grants instant machinist abilities 2 to the user, ranged attack. That's one attack. One attack. Prompto has 4 hits on his. Big difference. Yeah, the command granting the quick cast 2 is 4 hits. So, I'm actually a bigger fan of this than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just an inferior version of Laguna's, but it's not. Anyway, Laguna's entry is Imperil Lightning anyway. It's kind of a weird comparison, but they are very similar characters. Laguna being the better of the two overall, but still. Anyway, I would not mind having this BSB. That, at the very least, is attack, defense, 0 cast time, by the way. For anyone's keeping track, that's attack, defense, minus 50%, 0 cast time. Just like Lion. Not just like Lion, because Lion is only 40% attack and defense. Prompto is a 50%er, and it's elemental as well. So it doesn't have to be non. And I believe Prompto can use swords. And this is actually important because he doesn't get a plus lightning gun or weapon on this banner. I want to see what weapons Prompto can use. Because Prompto, with his USB alone, with his BSB alone, is already actually a pretty good character at dealing this damage. Oh dear. If only this weren't edit mode and I didn't have to scroll up to see what these were. I know one of them is gun. Is the other throne? Bow. He can use bows and guns. Do breaks begin ever make a comeback? I feel that like the recent endgame stuff has been phasing them out pretty hard. I believe so. Not as much. They'll never be what they used to be because they do suffer from the same percentage decrease in effectiveness. In the next round of Magicite dungeons, except for one of them, which that's not enough. But there are different difficult fights coming up. I believe we're going to be getting rewards for 30-second clearing some moat dungeons. And I'm pretty sure that debuffs are 100% effective. Or not. They're just as effective as they've always been, 50%. Alright. So, Prompto has a pretty decent BSB. Arenea's BSB. Her helm is plus lightning damage. So that's pretty cool. BSB itself, 8 single target, lightning dark, and lightning burst mode. Commands. 2 single target and self no airtime 2. This is just like Kane's first command on his BSB. Not a big fan of it. I usually don't even bother using it. I think you lose too much damage from just using a 2-time single target attack to give yourself this. But this, on the other hand, 4 single target lightning dark and self dragoon damage plus 15%, 3, really good. That's really nice because you can either use that here for this, or you can use it on Lightning Dive, which is probably the preferred way to play her. But overall, it's just an okay burst. It's only slightly better than Kane's. If there's anything good to be said about it, it's the fact that it comes on the plus lightning helm. So it's just a normal, okay-ish burst. And wow, only... Okay, we have another burst on here, which is Noctis's, and then Iris's after that. Noctis is one of the non-elemental kings. 0 cast time, 10 single target physical, self-attack defense resistance plus 30%. That's the combat king buff. So it's unique and will stack with everything. Including stuff with similar stats, like Red 13's USB is also attack defense and resistance plus 30%. They will stack together because this one is unique. And burst mode is... pretty much lays out exactly how you're supposed to play this character. You get self high quick cast, not just quick cast 2. You get high quick cast 2 on 2 single target physical. What you're supposed to be doing here is using either Omega Drive or Full Charge, whichever is in your budget. I'd probably aim to use Omega Drive. Because you always have the option, or the ability to use the Smart Ethers on the Command 2 to refill it. It's only one banner, yes. But I think at first, if I got this, and I needed to use a non-elemental character, I think the first thing I would do would probably be to test him out in a situation using Full Charge instead. Because the high quick cast 2 is going to really, really destroy the cast time on Full Charge. So it's not even that much of a detriment anymore. And Full Charge has a very high multiplier on it. Omega Drive is just a much faster version of Full Charge, so I'd give it a shot. I have Full Charge honed to R3, so might as well at least give it a run before going in on Omega Drive, because that's an expensive hone, being a 6-star and all. So that's a really good form of non-elemental damage. I'm not sure I would use this in any of my Magicite teams. I don't think it's good enough. I like a lot of my elemental options. Maybe Hydra, since I don't have a lot of Earth going for me. But otherwise, it's decent. So I'm looking at Prompto's BSB being like good, and then Aranea's and Noctis being just average above average. Noctis's BSB definitely gets a lot better with Noctis's Legend Materia. The ability to 25% chance dual cast combat makes his BSB a hell of a lot better. Then I'd move it up into Prompto category. Next up, we have probably the best BSB on the banner out of the 4, and that's Iris's Moogle Heal. Kira Medica, Party Stone Skin, and Status Blink. Burst mode, just really good. Question as you run through this, will you be doing any more written evaluations about these banners? Unlikely. They took a lot of time, and I don't have that kind of time anymore. I can try to make some sort of goal. If people were to be able to hit that and, make it... really just make it worth my while, because they're not. Because I can just use these write-ups and put my opinions into video. And I would love to, because I loved the way those previews were. The ones that I briefly did, but really just the time invested in them wasn't worth it. the 1000-bit boss did fall. So we will be doing some public MP critique very soon. Not tomorrow, because tomorrow's going to be Magicite Day, but maybe sometime during the weekend. And it's going to be for Omega. Okay, so Iris's BSB is just very good. Stoneskin says Blink and Cura Medica is really nice, and Iris has access to a 25% chance dual cast LMR, which is also really nice. I will upload it. I should have uploaded the last one. I don't know why I didn't. Alright, so moving into Legend Materia, we have Aranea's Bracer 7. Small lightning resistance, so don't care. Star Battle Ven Lightning, how does that feel for her? Don't really care. I think what you're going to be doing with Aranea is carrying Life Siphon and Lightning Dive on her. So to start the battle, you're going to be using Life Siphon. So you're not going to be getting any help from the Enlightening in that, and then you're just doing 80% extra damage with the first BSB usage. Okay, I just figured a use for this, and Enlightening status will last for 25 seconds. 30-second clears take 30 seconds. What if you only had Aranea's OSB? Could Aranea be entrustable because she starts out with Enlightening? You Life Siphon up and get entrusted to, and just OSB as many times as you can within those 25 seconds. I think that would be probably a significant amount of damage. So yeah, that's actually a possibility. Doesn't go as well with her BSB. That's what I was thinking about. But there you go. Second Legend Materia Prompto. Small cast to double cast Machinist abilities. That's great. That's right, both of his burst commands are Machinist, and if you're not using his burst, you're using his USB instead, he's going to be pairing Tempest Snipe with it, and double casting Tempest Snipe is really impressive. That's 12 hits of lightning damage, and if you haven't Legend Dived, then all of that has the ability to apply a Minor Imperil as well. So this is a really good Legend Materia for Prompto. Prompto is a good character. And lastly, we have Noctis's LMR. I mentioned it when I was talking about his BSB, small chance to double cast combat. This is for just using Noctis with full charge or a Mega Drive. I wish, because Noctis is a speedy little rat, that it was also celerity abilities. Because if you have his LMR, there's no reason to use celerity abilities on Noctis, which is sucks because celerity abilities are really fun. I mean, Dervish is pretty good, and eventually Ripper Rush, is that still what it's being called? Leaping Rush, that's it, becomes a good ability as well. It is greedy, but it's not like Noctis is like some kind of overpowered character, you know? Well, he is. But we haven't even got to the relic that makes him overpowered yet. Next up, we have Prompto's Super Soul Break. Star Shell, 5 area of effect, lightning on non-elemental, range physical, enemy hyper break. It's whatever. Who cares? Aranea. 6 single target. Lightning Dark. Party Magic Blink 1. Oh, it's one of these. It's alright. And Air Step Sword, lastly but not least, Noctis's Super Soul Break is 0 cast time, 6 single target physical, and party instant cast 1. This is the relic that makes Noctis overpowered. Yeah. Just instantly giving your party, including him, instant cast 1. As well as it being non-elemental, so it can fit on every single team of all time. Yeah. That's just really powerful. This would find its way onto so many of my Magicite teams for 30-second clearing. So if you're not a big into 30-second clearing, this isn't nearly as powerful. But Noctis with the Legend Dive, giving him Instacast 3 and haste at the start of the fight. With just life siphons and, you know, full charge if you want. Full charge or Omega Drive. Because what you can do is you can just use that zero cast time, and instead of life siphoning on the turn after his Super Soul Break, is, you know, get some damage in because you're going to be doing it as instant cast time. I'd probably use full charge, and you know, you want to be able to, you know, get some kind of value out of that LMR if you have it. So Noctis BSB is better than his USB? Yes, I believe so. Only character in the game that gets a Legend Dive for a Super Soul Break. The only one that I can think of. This will be an instant Legend Dive for me if I pull this, because I will be pulling on this banner, and I'm going to go over why. This banner is not for everybody. This banner is for me. And very few people, actually. The problem with this banner is Prompto is like right below top tier. Shelt gets one for 0 relics. That's true. But anyway, Prompto is like right below the top tier. For lightning damage. Even without his LMR. Well, his LMR doesn't even help. Yeah, it doesn't have that much to do with what he does. His LMR is for use with his BSB. But, I mean, you can run Noctis with, you know, double fisting life siphons. And who cares if you double cast a life siphon? What is that, an extra 4,000 damage? No, it's all about the Super Soul Break and the fact that he gets haste and Instacast 3 to start the fight, which just allows him to... I would love to just get it and use it and think about, over the course of 30 seconds using his Legend Dive, how many Instacasts you can provide to your party. It's just crazy how much he can affect a team with just this relic. So anyways, Prompto is a very, very potent lightning damage dealer. And I need potent lightning damage dealers. I didn't pick up anything. I have Kane and Raijin as my only 2 lightning physicals, and I have Ash and Desh as my only 2 lightning magical. And the issue here is that none of those 4 are really all that exceptional. They're just decent. They're decent. They're above average at best. Raijin is not a 30-second clear machine. He's well, maybe he is, but it's for his super, not his lightning damage. So I need to add some kind of potency to my party, and I've been looking in multiple places. One place was Shantoto's USB, another place was Prompto's USB, and another place was Ash's USB. The Ash USB banner is still a possibility, but it's the rest of this banner as well as this being here which makes this worth it to me. And that's where we're going to find out as I go through this evaluation. It's very much about the fact that there are many different things on this banner that are good for me specifically. Yeah, Kane is not good yet. I don't believe Kane's BSB is all that good at all. If I get either Iris's BSB or Noctis's Super Soul Break, I stop. Next up, we have Aranea. I'll just go over both of hers right now. OSB and BSB, exact same reason for Prompto. With Aranea's BSB, I get somebody better than Kane at least. So I could at least run... I couldn't even do that because... I'm not making another Lightning Dive, and both Kane and Aranea require Lightning Dive. Well, Aranea doesn't as much with her BSB, that's true. She does have a forfeit commands. Well, Kane doesn't. Kane needs Lightning Dive to be any good. But Aranea with both her BSB and OSB would actually be pretty nice. Prompto and his BSB is just lightning damage, and it's just good lightning damage. The 0 cast time helps it out. I can just use this, even outside of the attack and defense minus 50%, as 0 cast time damage, and then a 4-hit lightning burst command that gives me 2 quick machinist casts. So I can use Prompto. Prompto would become my best lightning damage dealer with just his BSB. So that just goes to show the upgrade that his USB would be. His USB is awesome. So again, it's about me and lightning damage up to this point. Then Noctis's BSB is just good. I'd like to have it. It is not one of my most desired things off of this banner. Iris's BSB would be an instant stop for me because this is what I'm aiming for, really. I have Iris's LMR off the previous Final Fantasy 15 banner. And Iris with her LMR and BSB becomes one of the better healers in the game. I would then use her over Y'shtola in many situations. Y'shtola does have stronger heals because she's Legend Dived, and a 35% chance to dual cast, but being able to use Iris instead of Y'shtola gives me access to that status blink, which I do not have as of yet. Sure, Shadow, we'll do that at the end. And moving into the LMRs, like I said, Aranea with her LMR and OSB is actually a potent character for a Bismarck team. And I need potency on my Bismarck team because it kind of stinks right now. So this would be nice. This would allow me to run Aranea away from Kane and allow Kane to use Lightning Dive, because then Aranea could just spend the entire battle life siphoning, trying to get off as many OSBs as she can with Enlightening in effect. Next up, Prompto. See, what's difficult about this banner, if there is one difficulty for me, it's that Prompto requires at least 2 relics. I guess so does Aranea. Just with her BSB, she's only slightly better than Kane, and, you know, I'm looking for better than slightly. But Prompto, if I end up pulling on this banner and getting 2 of Prompto's things, Prompto becomes a really excellent character, and one of the things that gets me there is dual casting machinist abilities is really strong. Balthier is the fire one. So 25% chance to dual cast machinist is really big. That Tempest Snipe with either of his USB or BSB is fantastic. 25 seconds circle. And Noctis's LMR is just, it's one of the only 2 dual cast combatants game. It's just really, really good. And it's on Noctis, who is probably the best character on this banner, as long as I get his Super Soul Break. And that has another thing to do with this banner. Is just another chance at Noctis' super would be nice. The fact that there's so many things on this banner that could be, you know, potentially useful to me, as well as being a banner that this is on, is really what sells it to me. I'm not going to bother looking at these 2 because they're just complimentary supers. That's not true enemy controller. He doesn't need End Lightning to be top tier damage. That's like saying that Lightning with her BSB2 can't be top tier damage, which she can. I mean, all you need to do is give him a striker, and yeah, at first it won't be good, but if he stacks up, you know, 2 Imperils, he's already, you know, barely off what End Lightning provides, as well as providing 40% to the rest of the party. Sure, okay, he's an Imperiler, but that, in my eyes, is more of a damage dealer than anything. I think it's just disingenuous to say that he's not a top-tier damage dealer. Because he is. Yeah. He's not a top-tier numbers appear on the screener. There we go. That's a new terminology that I need to use. If you are dissatisfied with actually being effective, and just like to see big numbers appear on the screen, Prompto's not for you. By himself? I wonder. It is an Imperil, so he does benefit a lot from getting entrusted to. Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely not Lightning. I don't think he could do it by himself. Close, though. So, what is this banner to me? It's Noctis' Super Soul Break. It's Noctis' LMR. It's Prompto. And Iris' BSB. And the consolations aren't bad. Aranea is a pretty decent character, surprisingly. She has one of the better OSBs. And she has a good damage BSB. So, if I got her BSB and OSB, great. If I got her OSB and LMR, great. If I got her BSB and LMR, less great. So this is likely to be a 100 Mithril max for me. Because I don't want to... I don't want to chase Noctis' super too hard. But hey.